Today, we are diving deep into the story of Zepto. You know, the company that basically promised to change how an entire country shops by delivering almost anything you can think of in just 10 minutes. We're going to look at their insane, explosive rise, the massive challenges they're up against, and what's coming next on their super high-speed journey.
So picture this. You're in the middle of cooking dinner and you realize you're out of onions. Total nightmare, right? Well, that feeling, that immediate need for something right now, that's the exact feeling Zepto built its entire business on.
And this isn't your normal, everyday e-commerce. It's something else entirely. It's the difference between ordering a book that'll arrive tomorrow and needing that onion for the dinner you're making this very second. This is the world of quick commerce, an industry built on pure, unadulterated speed.
So what is this whole 10-minute revolution really about? And more importantly, who are the people who actually kicked it all off?
Okay, so here's the secret sauce. It's all about something called dark stores. Now, these aren't shops you can walk into. Think of them as tiny, secret warehouses, strategically hidden all over a city, packed with everything you might need. Their only job to get your order out the door at lightning speed. And get this, the brains behind this whole operation weren't some seasoned, gray-haired executives. Nope. It was started by two 19-year-olds who saw this huge gap in the market during the pandemic and literally decided to drop out of Stanford to go after it. Incredible.
Now, an idea this big, this ambitious, well, it needs a serious amount of rocket fuel. So how did Zepto go from just an idea to a total behemoth? Well, it all came down to fueling that rocket ship with massive, massive rounds of funding. And this just shows you the insane speed of their growth. I mean, look at these numbers. In August of 2023, they hit unicorn status at $1.4 billion. Just over a year later, they're valued at $5 billion. That's not just growth, my friends. That is pure hypergrowth.
So you might be asking, where did all this cash come from? Well, as the CEO himself says, something really important changed. At first, they had to rely on international money, but now they've managed to convince investors right there in India to back their vision in a huge way. And that's a massive vote of confidence. But here's the thing, a company's success isn't just about the founders or the funding. It never is. It's also about the world it lives in. So what are the big forces out there that are either helping or hurting Zepto? It really boils down to three key things. First, India's economy is booming, which means people have more money to spend. Second, people's lifestyles are changing fast, especially in cities, creating this massive demand for convenience. And third, they're using some seriously powerful AI to make that 10-minute promise actually happen. And the one thing that makes it all possible? This little device right here, the smartphone. It's the key, the gateway that connects millions and millions of customers to Zepto's service with just a couple of taps. Without it, none of this works. And let me tell you, the market is an absolute war zone. Zepto is going head-to-head with giants like Blinkit and Swiggy Instamart. And these guys are backed by huge, publicly traded food delivery companies. It is an intense, high-stakes battle for every single customer on every single street. So this phase of just insane, cash-burning growth has a name. It's called blitz scaling. But you know what comes after the blitz? A big dose of reality. And right now, we are seeing a huge strategic pivot. The game isn't just about getting bigger or faster anymore. Now it's about actually becoming a sustainable business. See, investors love fast growth, but sooner or later, they want to see a path to making money. So the focus has completely shifted from just grabbing market share to actually being profitable. And making this pivot means making some really tough calls. They're hitting the brakes on opening new dark stores, they're shutting down side projects like the Zepto Cafes, and they're tightening the belt on everything from discounts to delivery fees. It's all about building a much stronger, more resilient company. So they've delivered groceries, gadgets, and even coffee. What's the next big thing Zepto is trying to deliver to our doorstep? The final destination, the end goal, is an IPO, going public on the stock market. But they've pushed the date back. Why? because they want to make sure the company isn't just big, but that it's financially rock solid before it faces the intense scrutiny of public investors. And this is their roadmap to get there. They're going to expand their dark stores again, but this time more strategically. They're jumping into new product areas and even taking a big gamble on delivering medicine. But the most important number on this whole list is that last one, free cash flow. For public investors, that is the ultimate sign of a healthy, sustainable business. All right, we have covered a ton of ground in a really short amount of time. Kind of like a Zepto delivery, huh? So let's zoom out and recap the big picture here. You know, Zepto's story is really the perfect playbook for a modern tech startup. First, they used a mountain of cash to completely redefine what convenience means for millions of people. Then, they had to build this incredibly complex tech-heavy ecosystem to actually deliver on that promise. And now, they're facing their biggest test yet, proving that this super-fast machine can also be a profitable one. That whole journey really sums up the entire high-stakes world of quick commerce.
Which leaves us with the ultimate billion-dollar question. After mastering the 10-minute delivery, can Zepto actually deliver on its final and most important promise of all, a successful IPO? Well, only time will tell. Thanks for watching.